Matt's been on before. It ain't much different. But we'll mostly shoot from the hip, be like guys around a campfire. I'm gonna start my pre-live stream countdown. Be honest, I haven't watched much of anybody lately.
Took my family away from my Carolina home. Had dreams about the West and started to roam. 6 long months on a dust-covered trail. They say heaven's at the end, but so far it's been hell. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. We were digging and shifting 5 to 5, selling everything we found just to stay alive. Gold flowed free like the whiskey in the bars. Sin was the big thing, Lord, and Satan was a star. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. And blood lined the streets. Men were shot down for the sake of having fun, or just to hear the noise of their 44 guns. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. Now my widow, she weeps by my grave. Tears flow free for her man couldn't save. Shot down in cold blood by a gun that carried fame, all for the useless and no good, worthless claim. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there. And there's fire on the mountain, lightning in the air, gold in them hills, and it's waiting for me there.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, 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 YouTubers and friends, how are all of you doing out there today, tonight, whatever, tomorrow if you're watching from down under? Everybody, a little tech issues and a last minute update from Microsoft, you son of a beep. Oh my goodness. Hey, Jeff, GoPro Unlimited, Ron F. Hoping you're liking my little dredge when you get it. Vendetta's in the house. Good to see you, Mike Kirk. Secret Creek Prospecting. Lester Lepore, how you doing? Mandy's Candy, how you doing? Shoulda came to Faucet Girl. Coulda taught you get your pan wet, maybe a little flash in your pan. Joseph Knowlton, good to see you. If Aaron's in here still, enjoy your time on the creek. Gold is where you find it, aka Rookie Prospector. Oh, they can't hear you guys. Only me in my ear, and you're yelling in it. Thanks, Nick. Sorry, everybody, but where was I? All Things Country. Good to see our friends from Canada. Gentleman Prospector and Mama Birds in the house. Hello. Remember, next time you two come to the Swank West, hit me up. It's only about 2 hours from me. I know you two are driving. You probably pass right by my house if you take 30. Um, there's Gold is where you find it. If you're still here, Adam Brother, Prospectors Theories in the house. I'd love to make it up to New England again soon. Hey, Chew, good to see you. Hola, David Villa. Oh no, I'm disappearing. I watched too many episodes of Back to the Future over the weekend, I guess. Oh no. Let me fix that. The hard things about using chroma key and stuff. I haven't changed my lighting in decades, so where else was I? I thought I saw a couple others in here I haven't seen. Paul C, good seeing you over my long weekend. Who else? Careless Whispers, always good to see you. Magnum Man's in the house, good to see you. And who else was there? I thought I saw Damon from West Coast Prospecting. Keep up that sniping out there on the West Coast, my brother. And I'm not going to go back any farther. Tonight, as you could tell, I have a couple of characters with me tonight. The return of Matt. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce his last name at this moment. And his dredging partner, Nick. Um, it's Nick's first time here on Tuesday Night Hangout Live, so give him a great welcome from the FlashFam. And it is a return visit from our friend Matt. So without any further to do, I'm going to roll into the intro and we'll be right back.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Tuesday Night Hangout Live. It's Tuesday night, Hangout Live. It's Tuesday night, Hangout Live. It's Tuesday night, Hangout Live. With your host, Ed Marvin. Tuesday Night Hangout Live is a Flash in Your Pan production.
Now was that on the Boise River or Idaho when you were in Idaho?
No, this was on the James River in Virginia on a prospecting expedition.
Well, you've been doing a lot of those lately, but that's what hasn't been what I'm watching. I'm sure Mr. Lodak, I know they have watch parties and they watch you guys sometimes, but
Okay.
I've been kind of watching you two pick apart Backyard Gold.
Okay, the America's Backyard Gold, just our React series or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I've watched a few of those,
Yeah, it was an interesting show to do, though. I mean, the views on YouTube have been okay. I'm not sure if it was worth the time trying to fight Discovery over copyright stuff.
You know, once I got a hang on it, like it's easier to go through the process, and they'll do a couple videos in a day. But man, like Discovery,
Well, I think there's ways you can get around copyright.
We
that's
won
what it
every
was. It
dispute.
was- yeah, the reaction. It's just
Because you're doing a reaction, you're doing a commentary of it, and educational purposes and stuff.
yeah, it was a learning curve just dealing with the logistics, the legalities behind it.
Yeah.
I've got it down pat now. I was copy and paste. I was copy and pasting stuff from the second video.
I don't remember though. Did you do like a copyright notice thing at the beginning of them, Matt?
No, we had it in the description, which was fine, and then it's you have to go through a process and you have to write a couple paragraphs in there. So I saved it the second we did and just copy and paste, and it was fine.
Surprisingly, YouTube was siding with us.
Yep. Yeah, they
which I was surprised.
Well, I see Swiftwater Tony's in the house yelling questions. Don't need to yell, Swifty. Just put an @ flash in your pan, and it will be bold at me.
I'm not sure what he's asking though. How many days did it to shoot you two? I don't know what he's asking.
I don't know. You two both look live and well right here.
It's gonna take a couple days to shoot me. I can tell you that one.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what he's asking, but yeah, no, we've done a bunch of expeditions here in the past couple years because that's just generally.
How many days did it take to shoot you two?
To shoot the video. What video?
How long did it take to shoot the vid? Right.
What video?
Right. Which one?
Yeah, what video?
I was gonna say we knock out those backyard gold ones in a night.
Yeah, 2 hours.
Well, you watch it, you react to it.
I mean, yeah.
I mean,
So
you
it took
literally see how long it takes.
Yeah, as long as it took was the episode length.
Right. Like I could do it with OBS, which I use for live streaming and not StreamYards or Streamlabs or something. I could do it in a episode, just watch it and react to it like you guys were doing to Backyard Gold. Like, oh my, Dave Turin didn't know what a high banker was.
I mean, I will say it's funny that they kind of bill him as the expert when he was kind of, I mean, he was up on big big open pit placer mines in the Yukon and stuff. He wasn't using the
Well,
small.
you can ask my buddies from Gold Prospectors Space, in the gold fields with Swiftwater and Mr. Lodak and David Villa and all of them. When we'd be watching it, I'd be like, he ain't a prospector. He worked in a full-blown large-scale mine, and even what his family did would be considered large-scale mining in
Yeah,
aggregates and stuff.
they operated a quarry in
Right,
Oregon or something.
right.
Yeah,
Sandy, Oregon, I believe it was. So it's a quarry and a gravel pit, and that's large scale, heavy
and
equipment.
yep.
He, yes, I'd say nothing against Dave Turin.
Mm-mm.
I liked his other show with
I didn't,
Casey Morgan and them and Chris and them.
I
What's
didn't
that?
watch his other show.
Dave Turin's Lost Minds wasn't bad.
Yeah, okay.
I
That
generally don't watch any of them really, unless I'm in GPS doing a watch party on Zoom with the members there.
Yeah,
But whenever they said when prospecting came into it, I'm like, he's not a prospector. He's a large scale miner. He ran a dozer.
Dozer Dave.
Ran a dozer. Okay,
I
he's
run a
in a
dozer.
Cat 9 or a Cat 10. He
I,
isn't out there with a donkey or a little motorcycle going into the wilderness, hunting down raw leads like you would do with your work. Don't you still do
yeah,
exploration for a mining company?
I haven't touched base with them in a while. It's been since 2021 since I've worked with them. Everything for that in Virginia has just been kind of like on the down low, and they're waiting for everything to just blow over, more or
Okay,
less.
but you as a geologist would go out and prospect for them, right?
Yep. Yeah.
You do your homework at home, you do your thing with your LiDAR, which I think's awesome work too, and your 3D printed models of topic your topographical models are
Yeah, I'll have
sweet.
to grab some of those.
Those are sweet. But now he left. Damn it, Nick. What do you
I'm
do
right
with
here.
that guy? Okay.
I'm right here. I didn't go
he went
anywhere.
5 feet away.
Okay, he can hear me. Okay, okay.
Yeah, I can hear you. I just had to
Out of
grab
my
these.
seat.
Yeah, those are really cool, Matt.
Oh,
But you would go out and sample, label, sample, label, and run it and look for. You did prospecting.
yeah.
It
Literally
wasn't
pan samples.
right,
Just
right.
trying to get an idea of the gold running through an area, what it was looking like, and you'd map it all out and you'd do pins and all that, and then it would give you an idea like, okay, so can you track where the vein trends are going based off where there's hot spots and stuff in the creeks and the feeders and tributaries and all that? That was basically, yeah, the premise of it.
Now
Yeah, and
that's
then he sends me
prospecting. Prospecting, searching for worthwhile deposits to mine, either small scale or large
Yeah.
scale.
And all this, yeah, from everything I know of it, it would be small impact, high grade mining, tunnel and shaft type stuff.
G. Lassie has a question in the room for you too, I presume. Do you guys use GPRS?
Why do I know GPRS?
I don't know. I have no idea what it is.
No.
I know what GPS is.
GPR. Do you use ground penetrating radar? There we go.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
No, not for gold. I used it for geotechnical work, for locating underground utilities and things like that. But for gold, the problem is GPR, ground penetrating radar, will see well in sands and gravels and cobbles, but it is generally blocked by clay. So if you have high clay content, it's generally not going to see through it well. And depending on the model and the unit and everything, the depth, you're not going to have an incredibly great depth, and it's going to take interpretation into what you're seeing.
Would it have worked this last trip, Memorial Week, when we just had sand everywhere?
That's too shallow of a resolution to even see. You need something deeper than that, and you can't usually use them in water.
Oh.
They're used for dry land type stuff, like maybe over the floodplain, and it could tell you where the bedrock is throughout that entire floodplain area if there isn't a high clay content and all that.
You
It's
could
expensive.
use it for cavities under the ground too, right? Caverns and like old lost mine shafts and
Possibly there's other methods that could work better for that type of stuff, like electrical resistivity, and seismic refraction and seismic reflection surveys would also potentially be better. All this stuff would, depending on the project, you'd have to go through and talk with somebody and look at the various imaging techniques and see what would be best for those specific sites.
Now I know when you prospect for dredging, Matt, you use your Dolke 4-inch for prospecting, don't you?
That's generally more so what we've used it for. Yeah, it's been more of a prospecting dredge
Well,
because
it's
it's
a
easy to
very
move around.
small dredge for a 4-incher, very easily for one person maneuver and stuff. They
Yeah,
used to
air has
do
been more of a problem on it though, because I don't know,
That's been the only issue with it. It's the air because the belt
yeah.
slips, and then I get mad at it, and
I'm not sure if that's due to the fact of using the link belt or if we don't have the pulleys aligned perfectly. But it always just wants
you're
to
going
eat
through
belts.
pulleys a lot or something.
It just wants to eat belts,
Hmm.
and it'll just
well,
start slipping.
it started eating through belts because we had it on backwards because you didn't let me know that there was a right way and a wrong way.
I didn't know there was a right way and wrong way at first. I just always somehow managed to put them on right.
You know, that horseshoe that you have hidden inside of you lets you put that belt on the right way. That didn't transfer over to me though, Matt, when I was trying to breathe underwater.
Yeah. Well, that's why we also have this now.
There you go. I like that thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that.
I think we're gonna take the T80 off of the Dalkey and just start using this along with
Is
it.
that like a Nomad or something?
It's a electric diving compressor.
Yeah, Blue Dive, I think, makes an.
This one's made by Aqua Robo.
Okay, yeah, okay, cool.
And it's their 4.5 hour version. They have an 8 and a 10-hour one as well, which I would have preferred, but beggars can't be choosers either.
Can't you obtain spare batteries for it?
So currently it's a sealed 55 amp hour battery in there. We'll see how well that does and stuff. I mean, so from the America's Backyard Gold, the Oregon episode, they saw our episode on it, and they sent us that for free.
Oh wow, cool.
I'm like, hey, I'll take it and see how it works. Sure. Because they were in that episode, their unit, when they were sniping the Rogue River.
Okay.
And I mean, so far I'm impressed with it.
It gave me some air. I mean, I was above water.
Mitch he was on actually Backyard Gold in or Southeast Oregon or Southwest Oregon dredging. He might have been even part of the sniping crew. He goes, "You're welcome."
So for Lester, this one was this one $600, but it comes with everything you need to go take it out and use it. Where a T80 almost anymore is $400 to $500, and you still need regulator, air hose, tank, all that type of stuff. So it almost comes out to being the same price. And this can be used independently of the dredge. I've been impressed with it so far. Nick has like 50% lung capacity. And
thanks, Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Now, Brad, he uses a Nemo, I believe, or a blue, either a Nemo or a Nomad, which is it's a battery. It's
Okay.
a battery operated breathing apparatus. Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes, this unit has sparked my interest. Did he say 6 hours of airtime?
This one is 4.5 hours.
What brand is the unit again?
Aqua Robo.
Robo.
Yeah, this is the 4.5 hour version. And I think the 4.5 hour version, 600. I think the 8 hours, 700. And I think the 10 hours, about 800. But I mean, it comes with everything you need to dive, where if you go and buy a gassed PA263 compressor that's $800, you still have to buy everything to hook it up to be able to go dive. Airlines, regulators, all that. This came with airlines and regulators and all that.
And yeah, it was Mitch, Graveyard Prospecting, that was
so will it pump? I'm guessing in the Goldfields is asking if it will pump enough for a full face mask. From what I can tell, yes, but I haven't tested it yet. It's outputting way more than what the T80 does through a regulator. And I run a full face mask normally. I just got to get it hooked up over to this one.
Yeah, we'll be doing that, in a week and a half?
Why do you have a mask, Swifty? You dry wash and flip in Arizona.
He needs a mask for the dust.
I would too.
Not that kind of mask.
Nice. So Graveyard Prospecting.
He says, screw that. All you need is a 10-foot bamboo pole and a mouthpiece duct tape to it from
I've tried
a snorkel.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
This isn't
an episode of Archer. We can't do that.
You don't want to breathe out of it into that. Just breathe out your nose, inhale from that.
The problem is the water compresses your lungs and then you can't inhale it all.
Thanks for putting up the website link, Mr. Lodak.
Yeah, so I mean they've been great to deal with so far, and they answered most all my questions. The only things that I don't like is that, so when we go out on a trip for 5 or 6 days and we're out in the middle of nowhere in a river, we have no way to charge a 4.5 hour version of this in any amount of time.
Right.
We're going to try with some of the solar stuff on this next one, but it takes like 8 to 10 hours to charge the thing overnight.
I really do hope it works, because I would like to put it through the gambit, because I'll be okay enough to be in the water.
Yeah.
I'll take.
We're good. It's a Graveyard Prospector. We're going to try solar power generators. So, and then in the Goldfields, we're miles down the river. Everything's there by boat. I can't haul a generator. Solar panel. I have a 120 watt solar panel that I'll bring, and a little, what do they call them? Solar generators. And we're going to see if we can get that to work it. But also they will not, you can't charge them while they're in use. So it's not like while I'm using it, I can also plug a solar panel into it, which kind of sucks. And this next location, we're going to be potentially in 6 to 10 foot of water. So,
and I really want to be able to snipe and join you down there.
Yeah.
without needing a whole engine with air for myself.
Yes. Because even with the PA, the gas PA 263, you don't get enough air when we're both on it.
No, I need some oxygen. I need to be able to breathe. Damn it! Darn it! Breathe.
It's in the water. I wouldn't plug it in either. I mean, DC power isn't as likely to kill you in the water, right? I think it's AC power is the more dangerous one. Could be wrong on that though. Either that or we'll get shocked. But no, we can't. You can't charge it while in use, so it's not an option.
Well, it says you can't. I did it for a little bit. It
and you didn't kill it, but a hydro generator is an interesting idea if we're in a fast enough moving water where it have a little wheel spinning behind it. But yeah, I don't know.
That could work in some places, I guess.
Yeah, I just don't know how much power it output. That'd be the problem.
I know. We need to figure it out because I would like to be able to extend that to where I could use it every day in 4.5 hours.
So that's the thing is, though, for us, we have these weird circumstances where we are out remote. Most prospectors, I don't believe, have that issue. Most prospectors are either going back to some sort of camper with a generator or going back to their home a lot of times each day and can charge it then.
Yeah.
We're kind of weird with these like 5-6 day trips where we're remote and can't really charge much.
Please get some flexible solar panels. You've got the little generator that should help.
What, the solar generator?
Yeah.
Except for that's a 55 amp hour battery, and I think that thing's a 80,000 milliamp hour. So what's that turn into then?
Probably like 8 amps or something.
Yeah, it's not enough, but it will supplement it as it's being charged by a solar panel. Maybe, I don't know.
You got the solar panels. I could pull a battery. God, it's like 2 bolts. Like it's a terminal, 2 terminals. It's not that hard.
We'll see. We're gonna see what we can do with it more so on this next trip. Yeah, no, I've been impressed with the unit for using it in a small creek so far. Or I could have just snorkeled.
With the pirate flag on it.
Yep.
Now that I agree with Brad. It seems like the non-interchangeable batteries is a downfall.
That is something I already mentioned to the company, and it seems like they are potentially interested in trying to figure out a way to do swappable batteries where we could be running it during the day with one battery and have another one sitting there charging in the sun. So I'm not sure if that'll be a future
iteration
that we see come out.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything else from them on that, but yeah, obviously a 55 amp hour lithium ion battery costs a lot.
Yeah, Brad says I use a 170 amp battery, 2 solar panels on the UT running 3,000 watt inverter.
Yeah. I mean, that's.
I've got, so what he's talking about there, I've got 200 amp hour batteries in my camper, and it runs off 4 100 watt panels. So I've got the 400 watts running in there. I've got the 300 watt inverter as well, and it'll charge like full Sundays. It'll charge. Today, pretty shady. We had a cold front come in, so didn't charge all the way, but it keeps my beer fridge cold, and I can run my AC for a little bit.
Yeah.
Charge my phone, a couple batteries, or some lights. Like it keeps my computer charged. Like it does the basics.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just when you're remote on a river, like they have the flexible panels. We could throw them on the boat. I could have some serious wattage on that boat. We'll come out there. We'll charge that battery in like 2 hours.
Yeah.
You have a pretty smart partner now, Nick. Even though he's a geologist and not an engineer, I know this guy has a mechanical and engineering type mind.
Not
I
in the
mean,
solar. Solar's
I'm a
my
geologist. I'm a geologist because engineers need heroes too.
Right, right. Now, you could even make a hydro generation plant to go with you wherever you go.
We
Yeah.
tried we have one of those extension cables or cords there. The hell is that called when you plug in your computer and the electric or the lightning doesn't blow it up?
Uh, uh,
Power strip. We got
Yeah.
those power strips. We keep plugging the end into it to regenerate the power in there.
yeah, that'll work, Nick.
No, but you've seen those battery chargers and stuff you could throw in the river.
Everybody, surge protector.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, everybody. I lost the word for a second.
He blames it on the military
I just
and
so
the
you could
alcohol in his glass.
you could use maybe some sort of water powered thing, but I have no idea what their power output is compared to a 120-watt solar panel. I've just never looked into them.
Right.
And they might, for this next spot, since we're going to be in 8 foot of water, it's not flowing very fast. So but I'm not sure you get
yeah.
power.
Josh Cooper, low head turbine. David Villa, paddle wheel on your dredge.
Nick's just got to be up there just on a little paddle wheel, just churning away.
Yeah, just make a bicycle type thingy. You could just get up there and pedal fast, Nick. Pedal fast.
I'm gonna get right on that.
What? No, it seems like it'll be a useful tool, and depending on how everything works, with T80s going away and not being produced anymore, an 8 to 10 hour version could be a way to replace that without having a compressor on your dredge.
You know Keen and whoever's still making dredges, Keen Proline. Did Dolce go out of business or did they move? I hear they're not in Sunnyside, Washington anymore.
Who?
Dolce?
Dowkey's gone currently, pretty much. So they're now he was in Texas. He moved the company to Texas, and I got my Dowkey, but from what I know, he is not producing anymore for the foreseeable future.
That's a shame. They have a great jet.
Thing is my Dowkey didn't come with a tri-jet. I wish it would have. No? It only came with a double jet.
Make one.
I could. I've made one before. It's just, time currently.
Matt, Infinity Jet time.
What?
The Infinity Jet, like Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
There you go. You don't need a try. You need Infinity.
Infinity Jets have their own issues.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Yeah, that's what we need is Dowkey with more issues.
Yeah. Tri-jets usually are pretty good, but nobody makes them. I've made one and it worked very well, but I'd have to re-go through that whole process again, and I don't know about time.
My friend
Graveyard
Mitch
prospecting.
Graveyard, yeah. I noticed that these guys didn't know much about gold out west. When are they coming out here to get some experience?
I don't know. I mean, you say we don't know much about gold out west, but we just got 15 grams in 5 days, and last year we got right about the same in 4 days, and I've had 3/4 ounce weekends out east.
Well, you're talking to a guy, Matt, where dredging now is illegal.
I know.
So he's sniping.
Yeah.
So
no, I mean we've been out to Idaho.
Yeah, sniping some of that stuff from that TV show there. Woo.
Yeah.
David Villa, Virginia ain't west.
I mean, there's West Virginia, but there's no gold there. There's a little bit of gold there, but not much. And you can't dredge
but I hear it's almost a hands and pans state. Like, pretty much Vermont's supposed to be.
Can't dredge in West Virginia. Whose claims did you jump? Are they talking to us or talking to somebody else? Private property. No claims jumped because there are no claims.
Not on private
Not out here.
property, but
No claims on the East Coast.
no, not out here. No, not
Nope.
at all.
Yeah.
We
You
should
should know that, Swifty. You're originally from the Midwest. You should know that. No
It's Swift.
such thing as a claim on the East.
Um,
Oh, I
been out to
thought you
Idaho
meant
on the
West.
Salmon River though.
Were you working a friend's claim, or did you end up staking a claim, or did you buy a claim, or?
The Salmon River is owned by the state of Idaho, and it is not claimable.
Oh, it's okay. It's closed to mineral entry.
You can get a state mineral lease, but there's only like 2 of them on the entire river. So it's generally just open to prospecting. Now, I think laws, they've started cracking down and doing other stuff since we've been out there, so some of it may have changed. I think you now need to get the Idaho State IPDE blah blah permit.
Right.
But generally, at least when we were going out there, like you could go out and dredge the river. You didn't need it. There was no claims. You could just go put in and go dredge. Now, was it easy to find gold? No. We spent 3 weeks running a sampling regime and didn't get on anything good enough, though I do know of people there who pull 10 grams or more, 4 to 10 grams an hour in places. It's there. It's just that's a big river.
That's a big river.
It's a big, scary river.
where you tried to murder me.
Possibly a couple of times.
Just a couple? Just a couple.
A couple of times, yeah, we got anchor lines snagged up on stuff. Boats trying to go down river. He's cutting across, gets snagged an anchor line, has to cut the rope before he gets flipped over.
Yeah, I was gonna say snagged and stuff. My neck isn't a stuff, Matt. it's pretty integral to my body.
Yeah. I mean, we were diving up to 20 and 20 foot of water there and stuff.
Yeah. That was wild.
Even though we got what? 12, 13 grams of gold in 3 weeks of sampling, I would 100% go back out and do it again.
Oh, in a heartbeat.
It was a blast.
In a heartbeat. I had so many people throwing beers at me in the river.
Yeah. If we would have also just set the 6-inch up on the 3 to 4 gram a day stuff, we would have came out with a lot more gold.
Yeah.
But we knew there's better gold in that river somewhere, so we kept just doing samples, and we never got on anything good enough.
Yeah.
Mainly,
next time
what also messed us up was a landslide up on the Montana border that then kept mudding the river out. And so you couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
And I'm not really going to dive in an unknown section of river if I can't see in 20 foot of water.
That's understandable. It's nice to know when snags are floating down and stuff.
Yeah, so Scott, the Salmon River out there is easily it's easily over 100 yards wide in most areas.
100 yards?
Yeah.
That was a big river.
What, is it like the lower Columbia? 100 yards, that's a lot of feet.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we have a whole video series on our YouTube channel. You can go and look at all of it.
I don't remember. I've seen quite a few of them on watch parties over at Gold Prospectors Space.
Like the river was wide enough. I was learning how to run a mud motor. My first time.
The locals there thought we were some like hillbilly rednecks from Alabama running mud motors up and down that river that most people run jets on.
Like, look at these Louisiana swamp people.
Yeah,
throw me a beer.
Christian, NorCal Prospecting's wondering, do you still offer LiDAR imaging?
So I do, but I'll say check CalTopo first, because CalTopo generally has good enough LiDAR in all the locations that have the data. And And that's free. You can do CalTopo free and see the LiDAR data. It's called shaded relief in one of the layers
Right.
there. And if that does not have good enough data, let me know and I can see if I can get you better stuff. But
You do have some offered on your website. I guess they're overlays for Google Earth or something.
yeah, I do. For a bunch of GPAA claims out west and some other ones. I haven't updated anything recently. But I would
Well,
still say check
between work
CalTopo.
and expeditions and kid and stuff, you're losing a lot of time that you used to have on your hands, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean with a bunch of these apps coming out nowadays that have the LiDAR layers built in, like I definitely suggest checking those out first to see if it has good enough data for what you need.
And actually, Matt has a really good video, I believe, on CalTopo.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, I got a bunch of videos on LiDAR using CalTopo and how to generally interpret it and what to look for and all that type of stuff.
And that's what he sends me on missions with now.
It's been years since you went on anything like that, Nick.
Years? Wait.
Yeah.
A year?
It would have been pre-memorial trip of last
Yeah, so a year.
year.
I did that hike with my dog. Old
But
dog.
yeah, for the shallow rocky rivers out east here and even the Salmon River and stuff, the inflatable car boats with a mud motor have been fantastic. We can run in like less than 6 inches of water.
Yeah.
But if you put Tom in a canoe with a mud motor, he's probably going to flip it.
Yep, and give up right away. Yeah, you can pick on me about coyotes all you want, Tom.
But yeah, it takes its own skill to run those because it's not a normal outboard. There is no reverse. They have wide turning arcs. Yeah, they're their own thing, but I love them.
They're fun.
They're cheap compared to a jet motor that they want $3,000 to $4,000 for. Even some used ones, I'll take a less than $1,000 mud motor kit.
There you go. Tom
I like how
saying you
Tom
guys
says-
sunk him.
No, Tom, I came and saved you.
And I wasn't anywhere near you.
No, Nick was fishing somewhere.
Probably.
He was over that trip.
And Mr.
How did
Lodak,
Willie?
okay, you see it.
How did we finish the trip out?
How did Willie finish the trip?
I just got his. He finally processed everything. He ended up with 11 grams.
That's it?
Yeah,
He was pulling pickers out of everywhere.
I know, but it's Willie. He's running a 3-inch.
Well, okay, yeah, I get that. So
Yeah, he got 11
he's running
grams.
4, yeah, okay.
We got 15.1 grams in 5 days, with the biggest piece being a 1.29 gram nugget.
Wait, how much did you say?
What?
How much did you say?
We got 15.1 grams.
Oh, yeah.
With the biggest piece being a 1.29 gram nugget.
Yeah, it's sitting somewhere in the house.
You have it, yeah.
I might have dropped it in my sink. I don't know.
Kill you.
It's on the floor. Swept it up.
And I got to pick that 1.3 gram nugget off of bedrock, so that was fun. Hey, ICMJ, I know those guys. I got to get an article to them probably tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you better get it ready for Josh, man.
Yeah, I know. It's half written right now. I got to get it done.
Come on, Matt. I like your articles, buddy. Get it
Well, that's
out
good.
there.
Take
Get it
this
out
one out.
there.
But yeah, I got to pick that 1.3 gram nugget off bedrock, and I love picking gold off bedrock is the best thing.
Here it is. All right.
You got it?
Yep. Yeah, good.
Your camera sucks, Nick.
Your face sucks.
Here, let me pin you. Lift it up.
You can't see it, Nick. Up higher.
I'm
Up higher,
working
up higher.
on it, Matt.
Little higher. About perfect.
Sorry,
Almost too high,
Bit
too
too
high.
high.
We can see your face now. Back down.
Sorry,
Nobody
I'm
wants to see
watching
your
on
face.
YouTube and it's got a lag.
Oh, he dropped it.
Oh,
Floor
hello.
sweepings.
There you go. How about that?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice. Is that Virginia gold?
Virginia gold.
No gold in Virginia, guys. No gold in
None.
Virginia.
Yeah, no gold. Here's another one. No gold in Virginia at all.
It's
Another one.
all.
Getting
I'm not on there
smaller,
right now.
but there's another one. There ain't no gold in Virginia.
Nope, no gold, even though you
Nope.
can't see my screen right now.
Here, I'll stop pinning him, Matt.
Yeah.
Now
This
I'll
is
pin
gold.
you.
This is an old one. This is from 2015 in Virginia, so.
Ain't no gold up in there.
Terry Marshall, thanks for the super chat, brother.
Dang, Gina.
That was my first large nugget, I guess, but.
More to come. More to come, Matt.
Scott's like, what the hell?
Floor sweepings. Floor sweepings.
Here, Scott, you might like this one too. Let me see. Where am I in the computer screen right now?
That's was about perfect. Up
Yeah,
a
just hold it in
little.
the middle. Don't listen to him.
Right
That's where
about
he got
there
me.
is good.
I was trying to chase the dragon over
I don't
there.
know. Like on my screen, it's really hard to see.
Are you on your phone watching?
No, I'm on my computer. I mean, it's just I can't see the gold very well in it, but that's a specimen piece of quartz and gold. It's probably almost 8 grams of gold in it.
Nice, nice.
Hey, Matt, how much gold do you think's just floating around on the floor and the countertops in your house right now? Because I know I got shit everywhere right now.
No, there's probably more in the Virginia house that I sold.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah. But no, Virginia doesn't have gold. Go to North Carolina, go somewhere else, yeah.
Yeah, Florida.
Florida definitely.
Virginia ain't got no golds.
Is that all of our fines?
That's all the fines right there, yeah.
At No Tell'em Creek.
Pretty
Now,
much,
when
so
I
it is.
pin someone, I can't.
Can't see anything else. Yeah, I know, right? It's crazy.
So
then-
let me pin you now.
So then I don't know if we want to cause controversy or not, since the whole Memorial Week trip of this was Dream Mat versus Stock Pro line testing.
There's chunkies in there. I got all the fines and the pickers and everything and the nugs all apart. So
Yeah.
Well, of course.
you want to start controversy?
The controversy of Dream Mat all the time that lights everything on fire.
That was Dream Mat and Pro Line all together because it doesn't matter. Ooh, he said it.
You're not wrong, at least on this initial test.
On this initial test, it does not matter.
It was splitting hairs. It was so obviously I haven't published all this stuff yet. It was a 1% difference between the two.
Yeah, it's
If you would dredge through 100 ounces of gold with both, you would have ended up with 99 or 100 grams. I mean, it doesn't matter, 100 grams, 100 ounces, whatever you want to call it. Just using that as a good round number with percentages. You dredge through 100 grams of gold with both systems, you would have ended up with 99.1 grams with, anybody want to guess?
The rest of us can do math, Matt.
With the Dream Mat.
Oh.
And 98.2 grams with the Pro line. It was less than a 1% difference between the two systems.
That's a livable loss.
Those are both very livable losses. I will say this creek is particularly probably suited to have high gold recoveries because it is light in black sand. It has no garnet. And the gold is very coarse and crystalline, which means it's easy to catch compared to very flat, flaky stuff. This next set of testing is going to be on a bigger river with lots of black sand and flatter, flakier gold. So we'll get some interesting numbers off that too.
Yep, and we're gonna
And
be.
I have no you know I'm partial to Dream Mat.
I
Everybody
know.
knows. I was a diehard Miners Moss and expanded metal guy back in the day. But I don't like buckets of cons.
so we timed what it takes to run our cons down for the stock pro line. So basically from starting to break the box down, getting everything clean, reassembling the box, and running it through the La Trappe.
Right.
16 minutes, 17 minutes.
That ain't bad.
And then we're left with a quarter pan of cons to go back home with and process in a controlled environment.
Okay, now clean out time with the Dream Mat.
Well, so
I messed up and I got sidetracked, I think, during it. It would be less. There are less cons.
By far, and it's easier to clean out the Miners Moss.
yes.
So you get on the gold faster, right?
But so the thing is
when it came to the finishing, you have the La Trappe there, and we have to run the La Trappe for the pro line. The Dream Mat, we didn't have to technically.
Yes.
But I said I wanted to.
Yes.
Just to see what that would take. So.
But to me, I also find that 16-inch wide by 48-inch long piece of Dream Mat is unwieldy and a bear to move around. And I can only imagine what that is like in the larger dredges that are bigger than a 4-inch.
Their mats are heavy, yes. Even a 2-inch mat's heavy.
Yeah.
But to be honest,
But for somebody who's not going out all the time to go do this, and somebody who's like wants a quick clean out and they don't want to deal with the cons because they're not good at panning, Willie, Dream Mat would be the way to go, especially with the lack of variability in the results.
Now, with like Matt sells pay dirt, and if I sold pay dirt like Mike from Vendetta, you, Matt, and others, I would definitely run expanded metal over Miners Moss.
Yeah, it gives you the better material for the pay dirt.
Well, for the pay dirt.
It gives you the jerk material for the pay dirt.
Right.
For some of the cleanup stuff, though, I will say that by the end of the day of dredging, I don't mind sitting there for 20 minutes, relaxing a little bit, drinking a beer, and cleaning the dredge out. Like, at that point, I am done. I am not running anymore that day. I am beat.
Right.
Yeah.
I also know a lot of people like to do, multiple clean outs during the day. And if you're doing that, then yeah, maybe Dream Out will make a little more sense. I run all day and then I clean out.
Well, you don't really necessarily need to do a clean out every tank.
No, you do some people do that though.
You're right. A lot of people do that. A lot.
Yeah. Now one area where I do think Dream Mat with no Jarvie riffle and no Miners Moss up top would have an application is in sampling. Because I can punch an hour sample hole, clean the entire Dream Mat out, and pan it down quickly and get an idea of what I'm on, and then put the Dream Mat back in and go to the next sample and have no risk of contamination from previous things.
I agree.
So for sampling, I can see Dream Mat definitely. I would use it probably if I'm going out on a sampling trip more so.
I definitely agree with that. It's
because when we're doing sampling
unless you're in
trips,
the I don't know when you get in that clay stuff like we had was that Ohio?
Maybe
where I was digging China and
yeah, that was Ohio.
Yeah,
I've heard people say the clay will clog up the cells.
It was like I could feel it, like it was so slimy in the in the cells. Sorry.
So I mean, the biggest problem I have with the Dream Mat stuff is you get, I mean, I love some of these guys, Daniel Reed and other ones, but I also will call them Dream Mat fanatics. And they'll go and praise and say you're going to get this amazing amount of gold difference from using Dream Mat over a stock system. And I'm with, at least with our current set of results, I'm not seeing that. Like I said, I'm seeing a 1% difference in gold recovery. So to say that there's some it's astronomically better and you're getting so much more gold, nah, not seeing it.
Not enough for the average prospector average gold dredger who's going out a couple times a year.
Yeah.
Now, if you're finding like 20 ounces of gold.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hold on.
We're
Hold
frozen.
on. Are we back? Are we back? Okay, we're
I
back.
missed the most important part of the conversation. You guys will never get that moment back.
Hey, Carson.
So Scott, when we're doing our samples with the stock pro line, yeah, we're only doing the top mat. We're doing a top mat clean out, panic down real quick, seeing what we're on, and then documenting it and going.
I do like that. I kind of wish with Dream Mat we could do. I mean, I guess we could do whatever we want. Just cut the Dream Mat.
I wish Dream Mat would sell their mats for like a 4-inch dredge, not only in 48-inch pieces. Sell them in shorter pieces so I can have them complement a box and not be the entire box.
I believe you can get them in 24 now.
That's
24 and 36, I believe.
That's something very new then for a 4-inch dredge.
I was just looking at their website a lot over the weekend.
And is it let me take a peek. Is it the Dredge Dream Mat?
The Dredge Mat, yeah. I thought I saw it in 2 lengths now. I could be wrong though, Matt.
Might be.
But I thought I saw it in 24 and 36. Am I wrong?
I mean, that would be good because I feel like that is more so what I would prefer. Because the Jarvie riffles, if you calculate out and give them, so the Jarvie riffles are 10.5 inches. They caught 42% of the gold, and the Dream Mat caught 58%. And if you extrapolate that number into what percentage per inch,
well,
and make
Jarvis
it equal
riffle is nothing more than a corrugated plate, punch plate.
Yeah, but and you correlate it to what the stock pro line top mat is. The Jarvie riffle upper setup was almost 10% behind what the stock pro line top mat setup is. But there's also people are running many versions of the Jarvie riffle and stock setup too. Dredge mats. So there's an end trim cut. That's a 24-inch on a 10-inch box, though.
Okay. I'd look at it myself, but I don't want to drag things down.
Yeah, so for 16-inch stuff, I'm still only seeing the 48-inch. When you get down into the smaller widths, then there's some different lengths. So maybe they're moving towards that. I would consider that a good move to make. Because honestly,
you would contact David, Matt. I know David fairly well, not as good as Jesse. I like the guy. He's a great guy, really. He's a great guy. Yes, he can be harsh about his product, but I can tell you every inventor can be harsh about their product. Yeah. Everyone. I don't care if it's a great guy like Dave Peterson, a great guy like Mike Bung, David Urich, every single one, their products, the #1 greatest in the world. They can take things either very well or very
Yeah.
bad.
Yep.
But knowing David like I do, I'm sure David would hear you out, take your suggestion, and work with you.
We'll see where all this testing ends up. Like I said, this is just merely the first round of testing. What I think would end up being probably the best setup would be the Proline wave classifier with the normal top mat, and then instead of the riffles and moss in the back 2/3, it would be dream mat in the back 2/3. I could see that being a very good setup. But I got to keep doing more testing here and build up a baseline for everything before I go and start making alterations. Because if I don't have a baseline for everything, then I don't know if the alterations are actually doing.
It's nice that you're going through this in a very scientific fashion, man.
Yeah, I mean that's been the goal. Because everybody who says the dream mat always does so much better hasn't been able to provide me with quantitative data. And maybe that's just the geologist and scientist in me needing quantitative data, but that's where I stand with most things. I will say for dredges, it is very hard to do a good test just due to the sheer amount of material they move.
Right.
And that's where that whole we're using a sump system to try and do it as best we can to capture all the -1/4 inch cons falling off the back of the box and reprocess them.
Right.
And to make sure we're being fair, you have the handicap guy panning through everything to make
You're
sure
fine.
we have a good fair capture rate.
You're fine.
Fine.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, whatever. I can't wait to see what my loss rate is.
I mean, Scott, so far right now, with 2 days of testing on the Dream Mat and basically 2 days of testing on the stock Proline, we're at 99.1% with the Dream Mat on capture rate and 98.2 on the Proline. And the one day that I forgot to lock down the riffle tray on the Proline, and that data is not included in the other average Proline data, the per capture rate dropped to 97.1. Like there was a noticeable dip in capture rate with the riffle tray not being locked down. Who would have known?
Yeah, Matt not knowing how to put a dredge together.
Who knew you need to lock a riffle tray down to get, I mean, 97.2 is still a great capture rate too.
Well,
But yeah,
there one thing for sure, no system captures 100%. None.
and like I said, these circumstances we were in are probably contributing to the extreme high capture rate that we're seeing as well. Just no black sand, very little black sands, no garnets, coarse gold. That's all just helping with capture rate. The one thing that we will never know, because I don't care what system you're running, is specimen pieces.
Mr.
There's a
Lodek wants to know, when is your next adventure and where?
June 20th to the 24th in Virginia again. That's going to be the next testing phase on a river.
Yep.
Virginia is about the only where I'll give, so.
Where? No Tell'em Creek, guys. No Tell'em
No Tell'em River on this one, yep.
No Tell'em River.
We're on the good river. The
better river, yeah. And yeah, graveyard prospect, yeah, it's Ford versus Chevy versus Dodge.
Right, right. You know, granted, it's to everyone's own opinion and preference and stuff.
Yep, I'm just trying to provide some more quantitative data for people to go off of. And like I said, this is gonna be a long process.
That's right, Gail, and welcome back, Nunya River. None your effing business river. That's right.
That's pretty much it.
People would have to be able to get to us too. So, and then
Brewers
gotta be-
Prospecting out of Bristol, Virginia says, "Go ahead, tell me, Matt. I won't show up."
Won't do it.
this area has been a bit more hit or miss, but generally, when I've got into the good stuff, it's been at least 1 gram to 2 grams a day. So hopefully it'll be enough to do testing for Dream Mat versus Proline.
You know,
We'll
I'll tell everybody what ABC store to meet up with me at. got a buy-in.
I think at this location too, I've also found 2 specimen pieces. So 2 pieces, 2 chunks of quartz with some gold flakes in them.
Nice.
So you gotta be on the lookout for those too.
Nice.
No,
Are
say-
you offering any gold bags on your website for the armchair prospectors and people working on their panning skills?
Yeah, I think we have up on our Etsy store, there's gold pay dirt bags available currently.
I don't remember if I put your Etsy account. I think I did. I think I put a link down in the
I
description.
mean, if you go to Etsy and look up the Prospecting Geologist, we should be the one to pop up.
You'll find him.
Should be.
Yep, should be. I don't think there's another one.
And while you're there shopping at the Prospecting Geologist, don't step over to the Peking Dough and pick up some of Kayla's jewelry.
She gets enough pay dirt sales.
No.
Huh?
Said she gets enough pay dirt sales just for being on Discovery.
She's not on it anymore.
I know she's not, and I don't blame her either.
I think she should go for her own show.
She should, yeah.
Hey, Matt, would this be the Idaho? That doesn't look like.
Yeah, that's the Idaho gold. Yeah.
Think so? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just making sure while we're at it.
Yes, that's the Idaho gold.
All right, it's in this bag. It's
In that bag. Don't lose it.
It's next to my spoons and forks.
Great organization. I swear we haven't lost gold much.
much.
Yep.
Just you two sweep up your gold rooms and send me the tailing.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, I mean, I can just reach around and pull, like, what's this from? I don't know. I got it labeled on the bottom. I know where it's from.
We got a pan sitting in here of gold that was in snuffer bottles. And I'm like, Matt, where's this from? He's like, I don't know.
Where you got some of this stuff too that's not healthy for you.
Oh, is that the mercury stuff? Back it up. Back it up a little bit. There you go.
Or Nick, here, Nick. You did this. I've just never finished actually doing anything with it.
Wait, there was another one? No, that's yours.
This is mine. I don't even remember what it was.
I already went through trying to find fix mine.
Be careful. Be careful drying your gold in an aluminum pan with a butane torch.
Oh, you fried your scale boat.
The aluminum incorporated itself into the gold very quickly.
Just a little bit.
I forget what this is from actually, but yeah, no, it's aluminum gold now.
Oh,
I'd have to smelt that to free it, so I haven't got around to that.
I spent like 3 days trying to do that with the gold that I had in mind, and I couldn't get it free. It just kept getting worse and worse, and I was like, you know what? It's going to the dump. Some kid can find it in 1,000 years.
Yeah. Both lessons learned there. You got to be very careful with a butane torch and an aluminum pan with gold.
Especially something that thin.
Yeah. Yep, that was unfortunate.
Why don't you get like a Sierra cup to dry your gold or something?
What's a Sierra cup?
It's a stainless steel backpacking cup.
Okay, I see what you mean.
years ago when I lived back in Washington, that's how I dry my gold.
Those little aluminum trays work so well for weighing and moving it around.
Yes, yes.
But yeah, I do have little stainless steel
You could probably make
cups used in
the
steel.
same thing out of stainless steel. Huh?
Probably, well, I can't. I don't work with stainless steel. I can't weld that.
No, but
Um,
if you could make a mold, you just punch it. You could use
I
a thinner stainless steel like a brick ledge flashing for masons
Yeah.
and
But I
cut
also have
little
little stainless
triangles.
steel food cups up in the kitchen that I could probably just steal one.
There you go. The wife
Oh yeah,
will
that'll work
forgive you
out.
sooner or later.
Yeah. No, it's fine. They go missing all the time anyways. Um, I mean, we don't get enough gold to use a cooking pan. So, you know.
All things country dries his with a heating gun. Just don't try and dry your hair with that, all things.
Power would be the problem for when we're trying to do daily weights and weigh outs out in the field on a
Right?
river.
Eh,
That's why the little butane torches are fan on a river. Your camper's not there
oh,
on the river, Nick.
A small cast iron pan could do that right on the fire or even with the torch.
I'd have to talk with Calvin about that. He's our cast iron master.
oh,
He
all
knows
right.
way more
I
than
guess
you,
somebody
Nick.
doesn't.
He's
Yeah, somebody doesn't want eggs and bacon every morning anymore. See how it
well,
is.
if we had, yeah, if I use metal pans more, you could use a metal pan, but I use all plastic pans pretty much. I have a metal pan somewhere.
Somewhere.
Somewhere. I never use it.
I got a metal prospecting pan somewhere. I
Well,
Yeah.
need
you could pick up a new small, really small, it looks like an ashtray, iron skillet.
Yep. Calvin has a number of those that are like little cast iron egg skillets.
they're called toys. Not the egg ones, but the toys, the
Or those.
cigarette size ones there.
Yeah.
Heath Doty says they make a 2-inch cast iron pan. I have two.
All right, go ahead and send us
let's
one.
move to something
Go,
here.
go ahead and send me one, and I'll figure out how to pan in it.
Panning anything, pretty much.
Oh, just drying out your clean gold.
Hey Matt, we're going back to the basics. We're going back to day one.
Kitchen wok and a spaghetti strainer.
Strainer.
There you
Pretty
go.
much. Pretty much.
Idiots. I mean, I could probably pan in a wok now.
Yeah. At that point, though, I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Yeah, no. I bet you my losses would be about 50% back then.
I still got to run your pan
Yes, please.
tailings through the gold cube here to see what you lost panning.
Yeah. Because again, somebody made this do the finish panning.
Well, somebody had to dredge.
The entire trip.
Somebody had to dredge the entire trip.
So, what'd
I
you
would
do,
do that.
Nick, for Matt to do that to your hand?
You know what? I
yeah.
told him I didn't want him to. Nope, don't do it.
What?
I got in a dog fight and I lost.
Oh, that ain't good.
He tried to break a dog fight up and he
I
lost.
did, yeah.
That's
I'm
what
telling-
happens when a guy breaks up a dog fight, they get bit.
Yeah. They get bit. They get a severed tendon and nerve.
Them Belgian Malinois, man, those are crack shepherds. You got to watch out for them.
They got a taste for blood.
Sorry to hear that, Nick. Hope it heals quickly. Too bad it wasn't your left hand. Are you a righty?
I am a righty, and that is definitely my trigger finger is messed up. So
Yeah, he also cannot shoot well right now.
Carolus said she thought it was an Iron Man hand.
He wishes.
Yeah. No, actually, I I did that Tough Mudder years ago. I got a scar on my the outside of my palm from that one. I'm injury prone, actually, now that I think about it.
That's what Willie said too. He said you're not allowed to go do anything for like the prior 2 or 3 months leading up to Memorial Day weekend.
No kidding. I got to be Bubble Boy before we go out for the river. And
Yep.
hey, Lodak, you be quiet there, buddy.
He gets hurt every trip. Yep,
Nick
sounds
get
about right.
hurt every trip.
But
Did you get hurt? Did you get
every
hurt on the
trip.
James River Folly last year or no?
No, I lost the foot valve.
You lost the foot valve to the Dalkey. Yeah.
I had my feelings hurt.
Yeah.
No. Do you
Last
film
Memorial-
him a lot, Matt? Falling and getting hurt and stuff?
I mean, we both film. Yes, he has been filmed falling multiple times. Some of them are in our shorts. Some of them are probably in the full-length videos. Yeah. Tom, he has a special helmet. He can literally put it on for you right now.
That's too far away.
Too far away. So yes, he does fall. He fell into the river in January. He's fallen multiple other times too. So yeah. What's the YouTube video that Lodak posted?
That's the channel.
Is that just our channel? Okay, it wasn't
Yeah.
a specific video. I thought he was posting a specific video of Nick falling.
I was gonna say
I'm sure Lodak could find it really quick, but I don't want no one leaving the show. Stay here, everybody.
Yeah, everybody stay here.
yeah, we'll give you something to watch the rest of the week.
Right?
Probably put a greatest hits together of me just falling down everywhere.
I get knocked down, but I get up again. Dad's
Right.
gonna keep me down.
I
wish, Tom, I would have had you flipping your canoe on film.
Oh my goodness,
I
right?
wish. That is the biggest regret so far that I can think of on that
Don't
trip.
you hate it when something happens like a prospector shuffle and fall or tip over a canoe or whatever, and no cameras running anywhere?
It's the way it always is, because when I almost killed Nick on the Salmon River multiple times,
Yep.
there were no cameras rolling.
Yep. None of the damn times.
It's a pain.
So yeah, it's
lose all that valuable footage of some hysterical moment when a friend gets hurt or falls
Pretty much.
down or something.
Yep.
Hey, Roogie's still here. Hi, Roogie.
It's just difficult to keep cameras filming at all times when you're trying to actually get stuff done.
Oh, it is. You're right, Matt, because we don't have enough SD cards and stuff, you know. Then you have a whole lot of, pardon my English, everyone, shitty footage you have to go through.
Oh yeah, tons of footage you gotta go through.
That's the worst. Like I just went through like 2 hours, 44 minutes of footage, and it's like a 12-minute video. It's all Matt talking, and he's so boring.
Well, that's why I brought you on, Nick. You're supposed to be exciting. All over.
Brad was getting something to eat. He's eating lunch down under. He got bit by a dog, Matt. Or, I mean, Nick got bit by a dog, Brad.
Yeah.
He was trying to break up a fight. So.
Yep.
No,
Yeah.
it wasn't dredge related.
I'm 4 weeks into post surgery, and I got 8 weeks to go before I can pick my nose or something again. So
now that's gonna be a real pain in the ass for dredging. Don't want to. So you're off the dredge now. And you're a permanent clean up guy, right?
Pretty much. And then I've got
He's
a dry
camera
suit.
crew.
I'm camera crew, and I have a dry suit sleeve that I can put on so I can dive this time. So I'm going to be testing out the pirate ship there.
Yeah. Yeah,
Seeing how
test
that
that
one
out.
works out, and then, well, I guess I'll be testing out this dry suit sleeve too, because if I get too much water in that suture there, my finger, they have to amputate. So we're gonna be playing a game of Russian roulette that I'm not really excited about.
Will you have any form of internet access at this coming location?
We do not know. It's been over a year and a half since we've been there last, and I don't remember what it was when we were there last. Being in a river bottom doesn't help. I will say that.
Right.
If we do have enough service, we will try and do some live streams. Like what we did before. And I'm actually going to check my. So that's another thing CalTopo does is CalTopo has cell coverage layers.
Is that in the pay for it or the free one?
Not sure.
Good talk. Good talk.
Right.
I love our conversations, Matt.
I don't know because I've been on the pay one, so I don't know.
Every time.
So right now it's showing Verizon coverage on the hilltops, but not down in the river valley.
Okay.
But I don't know. Does that mean like full bar coverage or what? I'm not exactly sure.
I guess we got to figure that one out too.
Well, there's always Starlink.
Yeah, somebody want to pay for it?
Yeah, feel free.
So if we do have good enough service, we will do a live stream.
Which that Starlink does work really well, though. We found out.
It did. That worked great on the Georgia trip, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, using the landowner's Starlink on the Georgia trip worked well for stuff, so that was good.
Yep.
Hopefully we'll eventually be going back down there, but it might be a couple years. That was kind of running a sampling regime for the property owner, and we only managed to sample about 100 yards of river in 5 days with a 6-inch, 5-inch, 6-inch, whatever you want to call it.
Mr. Lodak says if you have service, he will be there on the weekend live.
Okay.
All right.
And a lot of people are saying you should do some glue some GoPro attachments to your brace, Nick. So
You don't want to see the majority of what happens with that. What? It's a lot of struggling to put my shirt on, and
yeah, definitely.
that actually would be kind of a cool view, though. Like just all the time.
Yeah, very cool.
America.
But yeah, Georgia trip. Hopefully, we'll get back down there and get to hang out with Rookie again at some point back on that property because we got to meet Rookie down there.
Lakes in every bag.
And he came out on the property with us and stuff. So
right.
that was definitely a blast meeting him.
Yeah, I don't know if he even answers to Rookie Prospector. Do you, Aaron? Are you still here, Aaron?
He's like, I'm tired of their BS.
He started out as Rookie. That's what I know him as now. I know.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I know him as Rookie Prospector too. That's why I always throw it in there when I'm like, gold is where you find it. Formerly known as Rookie Gold Prospector.
Yeah. So the place we were in Georgia definitely has a great history of gold and everything, but only sampling over a mile of river just takes a lot of time.
Okay, good. He's here. He's listening.
Still lurking.
He hears us.
Rookie, I'm pretty sure Rookie will say he would 100% go back to that property to help with panning and prospecting it because he thinks there's also good potential there.
Now, did he get behind the nozzle at all?
Yes, he
Yes,
got
yes,
behind
he
the
did.
nozzle
Yep.
on our Proline 6-inch.
Nice, nice, nice.
6-inch necked to 5 per Idaho and possibly Georgia laws, though the Georgia
Right.
laws seem to be rather ambiguous.
Well, and you could use that in Indiana too.
Yep.
6 nozzle down to
Really?
5.
Yeah. Nick, I would like to get out to Indiana. Indiana has gold potentially on par with Virginia, from what I've seen of them pull out of the Wabash and other places out there that are public rivers with boat access where our mud motors do great.
Yeah.
Are we talking north or south? Indiana.
North Central, I believe, is about where the Wabash is.
Okay, I mean, I've got friends in Indiana I can crash at. So
Now, the
North-
Wabash is a fairly long river. It starts in Ohio and
Yep.
crosses over south of Fort Wayne around the Huntington area, and then it cruises to the southwest, butts up against Illinois, and then into the Mississippi or into the Ohio River.
Yeah. And I've done initial research on stuff. It's been a while. I'd have to pull it all back up and look again, but I had areas figured out that I would want to start in on the Wabash and stuff based off of the old Taze River channels and stuff like that.
Road
Swiftwater
trip.
says
Let's do
Wabash
it.
good for finding bodies floating.
Probably.
Probably that too, yeah.
But I've seen some decent gold off the Wabash from a couple of the Indiana dredgers.
Yep. So have I.
The Whitewater River too. I believe it's the Whitewater.
Yeah, Indiana, from what I know, Nick, has laws more similar to Virginia on that. If it's a navigable waterway, it's publicly, the bottom is owned by the state and not by the
Right.
adjacent
And if
property owner.
it's non-navigable, the bottom is owned by the property owner, and the state only controls the water. So
Yes.
on any navigable stream in Ohio and Indiana, if you have public access, you're pretty much good to go.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's
And
do it.
Virginia's the same way too, right?
Yep. Yeah. If it's a navigable waterway, you're good to go. And as long as you have public access. Usually,
I believe. I'm sure Aaron could correct me if I'm wrong, but I was watching his thing where he was debunking backyard gold,
I saw it. Yeah.
and he was talking. The river he was on is non-navigable, so
Georgia's different. As far as I know, with Georgia,
there's
state-
very few navigable rivers on their list. I checked.
okay. Yeah.
But I believe the law's the same, but there's very few. But from what I read, they're planning on changing that.
Interesting. Because, yeah, I know like the Etowah, the Tenestity, and Chestity, those are all owned. The bottom of those rivers are owned by the adjacent property owners, as far as I know.
Yeah, I know the river he talked about was, and the list for navigable rivers is very, very small, even compared to like Ohio and Indiana.
Okay.
Very
Yeah.
small.
Yeah. And then Pennsylvania just doesn't allow any dredging anyways, so that's always a pain in the butt.
Right.
Yeah, good.
I
Back
hear
there.
it's a real pain in the butt even for permitting for sluices. Don't you
No,
have to-
Pennsylvania, you can go sluice, no problem.
Oh, I thought you kind of had to have a permit for wherever you wanted to set up your sluice.
Nope. Sluicing, panning, any non-motorized, non-powered stuff is fine.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can't use motorized stuff pretty much. And they say you need a permit, but then there's no permit.
Okay.
If you go and try and talk to anybody, they run you in circles and nobody knows anything.
Your
That's
buddy Tom says, "Hey, well, he's yelling, so, hey, Matt and Nick, Indiana is closer to me. Finally!"
Oh,
Yeah,
that's get
so
out of here.
Tom, go find a spot instead of trying to use me to find all your spots.
But that's what a
Eh,
geologist friend is for, Matt.
Yeah, but a
Tom,
lot of spots I can't take people.
yeah,
And he
Tom, it's
already
not like you
has
have a motor.
access to private property in Virginia that I've given him that has fantastic gold on it.
Wait,
Mm.
you gave him access down here?
To that one property where we've shot at,
Oh, okay, gotcha.
where Willie was before he came down to us and stuff.
You don't have to keep going. I'm still waiting on my permission to go there.
Okay, I just need to send you the permission, the hold harmless waiver. That's all.
Sign it for me, man.
Can't. I'm not gonna. You can't sign
FBI
it.
doesn't care that much.
Matt, I have a question. If, say, like, a mutual friend of ours got a hold of you and said, "Hey, man, Kevin or Vern is looking for a dredger for the season. He would like you to come up to Nome." What would you say?
Oh God, I don't think I'd be able, as much as I would want to. It would depend on when would be the problem, because, like I said, we're having a newborn here in August.
Yeah, it's not going to be in the next 3 years.
We're going to be moving. We're going to be moving in late winter, spring of 2025. I'm going to be building an addition on the house during 2025, probably into 2026. Like, I would love to go up and dredge and for Vern and stuff, but just currently where I am in life, I don't know if that's feasible.
Give me about 8 weeks and I'm all in.
Now,
Once
when
I
do you
break my
think your
nose, I'm up
kid's
there.
gonna be ready to start working that donkey?
He'll be 3 in September, at the end of September. So it might be 5 or 6 years.
I was gonna say, given that kid,
Hey,
yeah.
get him learning swimming right away.
I mean, he was just with us down there for the whole Memorial Day week thing, throwing rocks and playing in the creek.
Yep, eats all the rocks, just like
you,
his daddy.
you start teaching him to swim yet?
He's been in the pools with us and stuff. We haven't done any formal swimming lessons yet.
Okay, the younger they are, the faster they take to it.
Yeah.
And then, shoot, could be double teaming with the guy, youngman. Boom.
Yep. Hopefully. But yeah, man, I wish I would have been able to go up to Alaska, what, 6 years ago at this point? If that same thing would have happened, then I probably would have done it.
Yeah, we were looking at that right after Idaho too.
Yeah. Why does he need a dredger?
He's always looking.
Nick,
I know he wants Brian to dredge with him again, and I think he does sometime. Mr. Lodak could probably have a better idea, but he makes more money and he stays a lot warmer filming for Raw TV.
yeah. I understand that.
But I know he dives off of Vern's dredge for a little bit, right, Lodak? I thought he did for at least a day or two last
Wait,
Yeah.
time he was
does?
up there.
No,
Huh?
Brian Wilder.
Brian Wilder, American Gold Prospectors.
Oh yeah, I know Brian Wilder. Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
he captained last year one of his dredges.
nice. Nick, so that's the thing is, would you be okay diving in the Bering Sea in 20 foot of water and all that?
I'm okay with it so far. If you can keep me warm.
That's the thing. You got to keep Nick warm.
If it wasn't that episode where that girl's dad came in there and he's being a DIC.
Oh, Emily's dad. Yeah.
Keep him cold. They'll keep working for you. I'm like, nah. Like, I gotta be warm, man.
You know, I have an inside scoop about that.
Oh yeah, that never happened, did it?
Oh, it happened. It happened.
Oh, I would have killed him.
But if I remember right, it was Emily's idea.
Oh, okay. No, I would have murdered everybody after that.
Actually, Steve's a pretty cool guy, Swiftwater. Steve Rydell, yeah, I would have been pissed, but it really happened. I would have been pissed too, but it did really happen because when he was a guest on my show, that question came up.
Yeah, Nick doesn't do well when he's cold.
Nope. I want to be warm. I need to be warm and I need to breathe.
You and I both, Nick. I do not do good at all in cold.
I'll dredge for 12 hours. Do not care. Like the body, like I'll be exhausted. Don't care. If I'm warm and I can breathe, that's all I need. I have a hard time breathing on land. So
good thing Matt has a wetsuit heater on his dredge, huh?
Sometimes, and he boiled me alive in Georgia.
He got lobstered slightly.
Oh,
Slightly.
We were working some kinks out.
Here, Nick, I need to work on this heater. Go in the water. Let me test some stuff.
Let me test it out. It's like,
let's travel 12 hours to Georgia with a new untested heater in March, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me boil you alive. See what happens.
Yeah, you live.
You know what? I was dealing with that blister for weeks. It's not a good one.
Yeah. Nah, I need to work on that heater more still. It's just not heater season right now at all.
Well, I feel like now's the time to work on it.
So, Nick, you should already know this. I'm very motivated to work on things that pertain to upcoming trips.
I know.
And things that don't pertain to them don't get worked on.
That's because you start with A and then with TISM.
Yes.
Well, the water had to have been a lot warmer in Georgia or the Carolinas, either or, than it
Do we take a temperature on it? I thought it was running around.
Georgia was like in the low 50s.
Yeah.
Really?
It was, we were running off the gauges for that one. It was like the high was like 55 and the lows were in the 50, like high 40s. Like it was cold.
Okay, now what's the average water temp in Virginia?
During what time?
It depends on the time of year. The last Memorial trip we did, I brought my my meat thermometer and threw it in the water. But the last Memorial trip we did, we were running the low to mid 60s.
That's a creek that's completely shaded. Come mid to late summer on the rivers, the water temperature's up near 90.
Oh yeah, I'm dredging my underwear, literally almost naked. I'm in my underwear on the river dredging for hours, and I'm.
But those are the bigger rivers in Virginia that they're not shaded by trees. They're just open and they're shallow. So they heat up quick. Like this next coming trip, the river water should be pretty warm. I could actually probably check the temperatures on that too.
I need to know. I don't know if I can do a wetsuit yet. You might legit have to help me with a wetsuit.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you can get in it.
In the wetsuit or in the river?
Into the wetsuit. That would be difficult.
Ooh, yeah, because I can't do the wetsuit with the glove.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's going to be difficult for you, Nick.
Well, I guess you're at the panning tub, Nick.
Yep.
Matt, buy me a Farmer John top.
But
It's still going to be hard to get into, Nick. It's not going to be much better.
look at the bright side,
let's-
Nick. You work on your left-handed panning, and then you could pan proficient ambidextrous.
I don't want to pan. I want to dive. I want to be in the water. I enjoy being in the water. I like it when I can see what I'm doing.
Don't we all?
I know.
You're crippled.
I know. That makes me want it more.
So, Nick,
Ain't it always that way, Nick?
the James River was at 80 degrees yesterday.
Wow.
Ah,
Bath water.
Yeah.
I don't even think the Clear Fork here was that warm. Nowhere near it.
I think 80 degrees is 2 hours to hypothermia, just so you know. You remember
Now,
your body
I couldn't
temperature
find a
99%.
temperature for the other one, but it should be similar-ish. The thing is they're wide, shallow rivers that have dark bottoms, so they heat up quickly.
Hey,
Right.
Matt. Hey, Matt.
What?
Hey, Matt.
No. But yeah, nice. I'm looking forward to warmer temperatures. I'll be able to wear a thinner wetsuit. I don't know. I might bring a shorty wetsuit or something for this coming trip.
I would say if I could have the upper, the sleeveless one.
Well, go buy one, Nick.
Go buy what wetsuit you use now, Nick.
I only have one wetsuit, and it's hurting. I mean, I guess I could slice and dice it
You
because
could cut the arm off.
Why don't you go get a two-piece Farmer John full suit?
that's
That
what
way
I
it's
want. But they don't sell them anymore.
Tommy D Sports went out of business, and it's horrible.
Yep.
Oh, you can get them. There's more than one wetsuit manufacturer.
Nick, how much life is left in your current wetsuit?
Not very much. I probably could just slice and dice it.
Just
Yes.
cut the arm off then.
I'm gonna cut the legs off too, so it's easier to put those on. But
Go
you're still gonna have
Mr.
to
T
pull my-
with it.
Yeah, just cut the arm off your bad arm there. You'd be good.
just the one arm.
Yeah. You'll be Big Billy.
You gonna call me oh, son of a bitch. What's Captain America's buddy nemesis? Bucky?
Bucky, yeah.
Bucky?
Like NorCal, he's rip curl wetsuit. What is that, NorCal? Is that like 3 mil? What mil wetsuit do you use late summer, Matt?
Like a shorty 3 mil.
Okay.
Or like I have the Farmer John 5 mil, so I might just use either like the lower portion of it or the upper jacket, or I mix and match a variety of wetsuits.
Right.
Everybody time out right now. Willie just entered the conversation. Listen here, buddy.
Willie Armstrong is who was dredging with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome, William.
Bottom of the berry. I mean, yeah, 12.
Any beer at the
If I was warm and I had the air, I could easily dredge for that long. Preferably a wetsuit because then I could exfoliate.
My friend Greg, AU Diver 79. What size farmer suit you looking for? I can get you one.
It depends on my belly this week. I know my 7 mil. I think's what is it? They just go like large, medium, large, extra large, right? Just like that.
I don't
what
know.
last
Different
time-
brands probably do different things is the problem.
Well, yeah. I bought was it Neo
Yeah, yours is just a Neo Sport, I think.
Neo Sport. I'm pretty sure I bought an XL on that. I've been trimming up. So obviously a double XL now.
I mean, takes a can opener to get into any of them, pretty much.
No kidding, man.
It's like I loved Kayla, I think, posted something on Facebook or somewhere. You know, the Austin Powers thing where he's coming out of the butt of the mechanical rhino or something.
Yeah.
Not Austin Powers, Ace Ventura.
That's exactly what I.
And that's what it's like getting into a wetsuit, basically. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's funny, man.
Yep, that was a good one Kayla posted.
Yeah, she has a pretty good sense of humor. Yeah, I like Kayla. She was a great guest. She does great work on her jewelry, and I think she could give a lot of guy dredgers a run for their money.
Probably. I'm guaranteed she can dredge longer than what I can right now because dredge fit and dredge shape is its whole own thing, and I'm definitely not in it.
Well, that's what she does full time. That and
Yep.
make jewelry. So
Yep.
if she ain't dredging, she ain't putting money in the bank, so to speak. So
I hope she's monetized on Facebook because if she is based off the interactions and the interactions and the amount of comments and people liking her pictures and stuff, she would be making a decent amount of money off of
I
Facebook.
sure hope so.
I do too.
I hope nothing for the best for that girl. I like her.
And plus, she has pro line pretty much, so can't argue there because that's pretty much what I got. Pro line 4, pro line 5, pro line 6.
Yeah, you're pro line, all right.
Well, some of them I fell into and couldn't pass up, so
Oh
not that
yeah, that's a good idea, Mr. Lodak. We could get some. You've been tortured here before, Matt, but
so
Nick
I can
hasn't.
I can begin that Nick's beginning in gold prospecting is pretty much my beginning in gold prospecting back in
No,
2013.
no, sir. I have more experience than you do. I
Do
have
you?
longer experience than you do.
Except for how many years did you not do anything?
That doesn't count. I
It
started
doesn't
before
count.
you. I started before you technically
Uh-huh.
because I made you go into this.
Yes. Nick is the reason I got into gold prospecting.
Because I went for a hike with the girlfriend the one day on a stupid river, a creek.
Acid Creek. Willie knows it well.
Acid, everybody knows
It ate
Acid.
his dredge.
And we saw one guy had a little vial of gold, which looking back now was not a lot of gold, but was gold nonetheless. And I came out after Matt moved down to Virginia and said, "Hey, you're a geologist. You like stupid rocks. Let's go for a walk." Brought him down there, and that's when we bought the Chinese wok and the spaghetti strainer.
Because we couldn't find a pan for sale anywhere around us.
Yep. So Family Dollar it was.
Yep. And then had to order them off Amazon eventually. Then we went that trip. The thing found nothing but pyrite. And then we came back, and then I ordered a pan, and I started going.
You went crazy
more.
after that. Like that was out of the question. Like I was like, "Hey, stupid, let's take a look at this stuff," and you're like, "I'm going to buy everything."
Yeah. And then I bought a pan, and then I started going there more, and then I started to run into somebody named Willie. And I met Willie down there who was running a Pro Line 3-inch. And I think the first time I ran into him and met him and his buddy pulled out a 23 grain nugget off of bedrock. So what, about a little over 1.5 grams?
Yeah.
Nugget off bedrock. And that's when I was at the point and I was like, well, I'm never going to reach bedrock easily with a shovel and a pan. I need to buy a dredge. And I bought a 2.5-inch Keen high banker dredge combo. That was probably beginning of summer. And by the end of that summer, I bought a used Proline 4-inch that I still have now.
But when what did you have when I brought Napoleon out there and we put him on the island and he fell in the hole because he thought he could walk through the water?
That was the Keen 2.5-inch high banker. I got 3 1-gram nuggets out of that hole with Willie with that. And I also teached Willie that he needs to actually crack bedrock apart because there's gold down in those cracks. He cleared off a huge section of bedrock and he was going forward. And I went back and just started breaking cracks in bedrock and pulling pickers off of the bedrock.
Oh, he still doesn't know that lesson.
I don't think he does. But he also then got his largest nugget of the time going back and doing that, pulling out a 2-gram nugget that looked like a ball of gold.
Busting bedrock, get that stuff, right?
Yep.
Matt?
And that at that point, that was the end of 2014. And at the end of 2014.
Oh my God, Matt.
What?
That was over 10 years ago?
Yes. And at the end of 2014, I secured permission for a piece of private property, and me and my one friend at the time, John Dowdy, went in there, put the 4-inch in, punched some samples, and came up with what is still the richest streak of gold that I've ever found. That included a 12-gram nugget and 3/4 ounce days and over 12 ounces of gold pulled from a 50-yard section. We're still on that piece of private property. That's where we just were Memorial Day weekend as well. We're just in a different section of the creek.
Are we still just on the residual of that?
It's so hard to tell. I got to crush some of that quartz that we pulled out. I'm not sure if the quartz is coming out of those little stringer veins all over the place, or the gold is coming out of the stringer veins all over the place, or if it's more of a delineated source. I'm not sure, because we're about 400 yards below where the 12-gram nugget came from.
Probably easily, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if that size and that coarseness of gold would have traveled 400 yards.
I feel like with the way that you explain it, and from what I've understood about the floods in the area.
In recent times, no. So we're talking this gold moved long.
I know you completely disagree about everything about flood gold, but anyway. For it to fall
a 1.3 gram nugget is not flood gold, Nick.
No.
If it's a big flood, you ever heard of Noah's Ark?
Yeah, if it's going to be
okay. Now, if the flood moves the whole stream bed, it will move stuff that big, correct?
Yes, but there are over 100-year-old trees sitting in that floodplain.
Wait. The whole stream bed? You're talking about the entire fields around us?
Yes.
No,
that are fields that have been fields for 200 years?
Yeah, longer? So the fields that flood every year, they're not moving any gold?
No. What he's saying is literally that entire area would have to be being ripped up and churned up by the flood.
Well, even the current stream course, it would have to be turned up and from top to bedrock.
And I've done a lot of holes in that field, so I probably churned up some nuggets.
But okay, so here's the thing where the 3D printing is good too. So these, let's see if we can see.
Oh boy.
Here, let me pin you, Matt.
Yes, please do. We don't need to see my face for this. So look at that. He's got the glacial gold on this side where it's all big and bad.
So this upper one. So these are both.
Lift it up a little, Matt.
These are both printed at the same
high.
Matt, you can see your camera lower.
The thing is it's.
Right there, perfect.
These are both printed at the same scale. The same map scale, and they're both, I think, at 1.5 times vertical exaggeration.
Okay, what's the one you're holding
The top one is, I think, the North Fork of the American in California.
Okay.
And if you read a bunch of the literature and stuff, while the North Fork of the American and those California rivers do move gold, they don't move at every flood. They take large scale, massive floods. I think what they've had recently with the massive meltwater stuff from the massive amounts of snowpack they've had. But generally speaking, those rivers aren't moving substantial quantities of gold except for every 20 to 30 years, let's say, when they have massive amounts of snowpack that melts and the right conditions. And then this other one that looks like a thin sheet of paper. Can we see it in there right now?
I have the Zoom meeting taking up the whole screen now.
Go up just to. That's probably
Tilt
about
it
So
a
lagging
little.
behind what we're saying, which is killing me.
Well, the latency, there's always a few seconds of latency.
Okay. So there we go. You see the flat one?
No.
That's printed at the same scale.
Okay.
And the same vertical exaggeration.
Matt, why don't you lean back so there's more camera angle to see you? There you go, Slugger.
Still can't see it. So same scale, same vertical exaggeration. The flat one is Virginia. That's how much topography difference there is between the two. And if this one only moves substantial quantities of gold every 20 or 30 years when there's crazy flood events, when does this one move it?
Every day.
Right. But when your left hand, the Virginia, now those mountains are a lot older than the Sierras, so you have much more overburden than you would in the Sierras.
No.
No?
So while the Piedmont, the rocks itself are old, the bedrock, the formation of the plain that is basically, so in the Piedmont, the hilltops are almost all the same elevation and the valleys are incised. And there are river gravels on top of the hills from some of the rivers, and they're sitting at about 1 to 5 million years old. So it's only been within the past 1 to 5 million years that the rivers have incised their current valleys into the bedrock. Before that, there is no evidence of what was there. It's all been eroded. It's all gone. We know there were mountains at one point, but we don't know, obviously, the exact characteristics, makeup, waterways, all that type of stuff. Okay. So the gold we are seeing in those rivers has only been eroded out in the past 5 to 1 million years.
Okay.
At this elevation, basically. Anything that was up higher when all this topography was higher is gone. It's eroded out. It's way out under the coastal plain somewhere, inaccessible.
And that's all part of the Appalachia, right?
Yeah, this is pretty much, right in the
heart of the Appalachia.
Well, the Piedmont is technically east of current Appalachia.
Okay.
This is only 300 feet above sea level.
Mr. Lodak says if you have a mat of that available, he wants one.
But what?
Of course
he says, I'll buy that as a sluice mat.
Sluice mat. So this is only 300 feet above sea level, which also means that it's not currently eroding much, because as creeks and rivers get closer to base, get closer to ocean level, their erosion power is not there. They're reaching their base level.
Okay.
And I mean, just based off the topography and stuff, and the fact that when you go and look at most of the gold in Virginia and the entire Southeast is very coarse gold whenever it is found, the bigger stuff. All the mines the placer mines generally never mine further than about a mile to a mile and a half below the hard rock source. So the gold hasn't been transported more than a mile to a mile and a half below their original source veins in any quantity.
Nerd.
So now there are, of course, when you get like certain circumstances that maybe gold will hop a little bit, but it's not moving quickly. You could run a calculation and say if it's been 5 million years since the gold's been eroded and it's moved a mile, what's its average movement per year? Even though it's not going to move per year, but you could get a rough estimate like that.
And it would move per every major flood event, maybe.
Like you're looking at the 100, 200 year insane flood event, or back during the Ice Age, the climate was different. There was less vegetation, probably had more. It was just a different environment. So maybe there was more gold movement back in those times.
Gail wants to know if you have those models available for Georgia. Don't you custom make them?
Yeah, I can print them for anywhere I can get LiDAR. I have one of Georgia over there, actually, one of the Etowah and stuff.
So if you want to order one, Gail, you could contact Matt through the prospectinggeologist.com.
Yeah, and I have the option on Etsy as well for custom 3D prints.
Oh, okay. And I do believe all of those links are down in the description below. Hey guys, it's past 10 o'clock.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
And unfortunately, I gotta wake up early. Not quite as early as Careless and Jason and some other fine people that were in this chat room, but I still gotta wake. This old man has to wake up early. Matt, I appreciate you joining us again. You know, you're always welcome here, my friend. And tell Bob, next time I see him, I would love another ride in his airplane.
Yeah, let's see. Maybe he can fly out to Gold Rush days.
Well, that'd be great. Too bad it isn't right there at the Swank East then. You know.
Yeah, he'll need a ride over.
Well, if he flies out to Gold Rush days and you're not there, I'll give him my phone number and
yeah,
I'll come pick him up.
Yep.
Because out of the whole here's a backstory, friends. Matt's dad, Bob, flew into the first outing that I hosted with my friend Chris from East Coast Prospecting. We called it the Gathering of Golden Friends. Then came Flash Bashes. But we had a private airport, the Swanks private airport, right next door to Black Sands Campground. And Matt's dad flew in. And the very first thing I said to him when I met him and shook his hand was, I'd love to have a ride in your plane. And that was a highlight for me of the whole weekend, Matt. Was that 45-minute, 50-minute plane ride your dad gave me. I think if we would have crashed, I think I said that to him too, up in the air. I think we were above Pleasant Lake Reservoir at that time. I'm like, you know, Bob, if we crash right now, I'll be happy. But it was great. I really liked your dad, and I really enjoyed the plane flight. And best of luck in all your ventures, Matt. Even though I don't watch all of them, I root for you, buddy.
Thank you.
Nick, thanks for joining us. Be careful out there, and remember, next time you think about splitting up a dog fight, don't.
Don't use a broom. Use a stick. Something else.
Yeah, one thing with my brain.
So what's the after party thing?
There is a Zoom after party over at goldprospectorspace.com, the home of Prospectors Radio, every Sunday at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Next week, we're going to have some fellow Washingtonians join us. They're not prospectors, they're not treasure hunters in our sense of the word, but they are ghost town and abandoned mine explorers. Ghost towns and mines of Washington State are going to be joining us. So I'm looking forward to that show. It should be a great show, but every Tuesday night Hangout Live is a great show in my book. And all of you are what makes it happen, along with great guests like these two right here tonight. Until next time, may you always have a flash in your pan. And you all know what I like to say because it does happen. Ask Matt. It happened with Matt. Maybe one day too, we'll meet you on the river. Good night, everybody. God bless. I know
Good night,
I
everybody.
gotta go. Work
Thanks for coming out.
sucks. See ya.
See you
We're
guys.
out of here.
Thanks, sorry.
Well, welcome, Sam. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.